And we're back to recording. All right, hello everyone, and a solemn welcome back to the Rines Report. I'm here with Sam Montana. We have, of course, got a ton to recap. The Super Bowl happened, of course, and we had our predictions. Super Bowl victory of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Josh McDaniels accepted, then turned down the Colts head coaching job to stay as the offensive coordinator for the Patriots. And Nick Foles' future post-Super Bowl MVP. Those are the things we're going to talk about, as well as, I'm sure, a number of other things. So, let's start off. Congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles with a amazing Super Bowl win over the New England Patriots.
Yeah. It was quite the game, actually, in all honesty. It was very competitive, high scoring. Honestly, if you were not a fan...
Yeah.
Of even the Eagle, like if you were just watching this as a football game.
Oh yeah, regular football fan wise,
this was a great game.
Yeah, and even people who didn't watch football, like at the Super Bowl party we threw, were just enjoyed the game in general. They're like, oh yeah, we came for the wings and actually enjoyed the game. So I mean, like, there's a plus.
High scoring, lots of yards.
Yeah,
it was good.
Unfortunately,
unfortunately, yeah.
Unfortunately, our picks ended up losing.
I was closer. I was way closer.
You were way closer.
I was 27 to what, 23?
Something like that.
And you went what, 31-17?
No, I went 30-17.
Oh, okay, that's better.
Yeah, I thought the Patriots were gonna clobber them.
No, man, no.
Like Nick Foles was gonna go down the field 8 for 8 on a final drive of the game.
Who would have thought?
The Patriots win 30-17.
Instead, we got what we got.
Well, instead we got Malcolm Butler not playing for anything but special teams twice.
Okay, so now it's my chance, right?
Now. I guess so. We've been talking about this all week.
No. I am of the opinion that Bill Belichick should be fired.
I think you're outlandish.
That's fine. But hear me out, right? Why would you bench one of your best corners right before the biggest game of the year when he has played 97% of the snaps all year?
Yeah.
And you bench him for the Super Bowl right before.
Yeah, because it was amazing strategy. That's apparently what it was.
Yeah, it was great. Bold strategy.
Great bold strategy there, Kyle. Let's see if it pays off.
Yeah. No. Because the problem with this is...
We're calling this segment Sam's Rant.
Sam's Rant. Because the problem with this is, when you take Butler out, you have to reposition and reshuffle everybody in the defense. The entire secondary has to completely shift, right? So when that happens, no one's going to be playing at their best because they're not used to this, because they haven't played like this all year. So why you would do this in the biggest game of the year against one of the best offenses in the league is insane. It's the worst coaching I have ever seen.
It is Bill Belichick.
Worst, maybe ever. It's one of the worst that I've ever seen. Up there with Pete Carroll not handing it off to Marshawn Lynch at the 1-yard line. It's up there for me. I haven't decided yet where I rank them. But as a Patriots fan, this is the worst coaching decision I have ever seen. Yeah, it's infuriating.
I agree that it was a terrible decision. Look, I'm full-heartedly agreeing that it was a terrible decision, that it more than likely cost them the game.
It might have cost them the game.
It more than likely is what allowed them to score 41 points on defense. The Eagles only punted once.
They punted one time.
And then we got a lucky turnover. Yeah, the Patriots had one lucky turnover the second quarter.
The only guy on defense that showed up was Stephon Gilmore. No one else showed up on defense.
Yeah, everybody else kind of got lucky. Yeah. James Harrison kind of showed up. He played.
But
Stephon Gilmore was the only guy who actually did his job effectively.
He did his job. No one else did. And I can't even blame the defense because they go out there with a scheme and a plan, and they're expecting to do it a certain way. And then when you tell them right before kickoff, or right before they go out there, hey, we're completely changing everything that we trained for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And, we're going to just
you really can't expect good results.
No, you can't. We're going to completely do it different than we have for, most of the year. I'm sure you guys will be fine there. Just do your job, and it'll be okay. What? Eric Rowe was not expecting to have to cover.
Do you really think it was a Belichick call, or do you think it was a Patricia call?
Oh, no, it was a Belichick call.
Because we haven't heard anything from Patricia on
this.
But it does seem like a Belichick call.
I'm not even sad.
It doesn't make any... I'm not sad. Yeah, I'm not sad the Patriots lost as a fan. You know what I mean? Good for the Eagles.
No, but the Giants games, when they were done, I was bummed. I was sad because I felt like everybody gave it their all and we still lost. Yeah. This was not our all.
The defense didn't show up.
The defense couldn't show up because it wasn't the same defense we had all year. And so I'm just angry because the offense showed up. Brady threw for 505 yards and 3 touchdowns. That you can't statistically do any better. You just can't. You can't expect...
Super Bowl. It's a Super Bowl record for passing yards.
Yes.
And Rob Gronkowski came out, played in a great game,
over
had 100 plus yards,
2
like,
touchdowns,
like 7 catches.
2 touchdowns. Amendola had over 100 yards.
James White played very well.
He did. Chris Hogan had over 100 yards.
It was. I don't blame the offense,
No.
except for look, the Eagles' defense only made one play that entire game.
But they only had to. But the thing is, we never made one play. Like that's the
I know,
it's
that
in
was
counterbalance. Like we never made a play.
We got the Patriots got one turnover in like the second quarter,
and we didn't capitalize on it anyway.
They didn't either because the special teams didn't play well. The only side of the ball that played well was the offense. Even special teams.
4 missed points
out of special teams. Missed a field goal and missed an extra point.
The game becomes so much more competitive if we have those 4 points.
Yeah, exactly.
It does.
It makes the game
instead of having to drive down the field and get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, you just have to drive down and get a touchdown.
Yeah.
Would you even have to at that point?
Yeah, it would have been a 4-point game.
It would have been a 4-point game still?
Yeah.
I'm trying to do the math. Okay.
Yeah,
but yeah, you just have to go
but
then you just have to go get the touchdown. You don't have to sit there and be like, oh man, we got to go do this. You just have to get in the end zone, and that's it. And then you can just be like, oh thank God we did it.
Yeah.
Like, it just completely changes the momentum. I cannot believe the call. It was like, what could Butler have done to make Belichick bench him?
Because there's a ton of theories out there, but I think at the end of the day, it really just comes down to Belichick making a coaching decision, and for whatever reason, he decided. Maybe he saw something in practice. Who knows? Like maybe I think it's just dumb strategy.
This feels personal.
And then at the same time, there's what was it? What were we talking about before? I mean, yeah, maybe he doesn't like the personnel.
It felt personal to me. This didn't feel like, oh well, this is the best option for our team. No, something happened.
No. Yeah, what I was gonna say is following what you had told me before, which was. I mean, you see it's not working defensively for at least one quarter, all right, whatever, sure. But then there's an entire second half, and they didn't even put him in on defense for the second half.
That's the other thing. Fine. You want to try something different. You think this will work. That's fine.
And a team that is so known for its second half adjustments, to not have any second half adjustments, continue to play the same kind of football the entire game, the entire way, and then don't change a single thing. Because they weren't getting after Nick Foles.
No, I don't think
besides Stephon Gilmore, nobody was covering. And outside of that, I mean, the running game for the Eagles looked good too. They had big, powerful backs that were running effectively. You know what I mean? Like they didn't take anything away from the Eagles in that game. And you can't, at the end of the day, expect to win the Super Bowl after letting another team score 41 points.
No, you can't.
And think about this: the Patriots scored 38 points, which is 33 points. 33 points. They scored 33 points. Because it was an 8-point game. The Eagles scored 41. They scored 33 points, which is a very high number for the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that 33 points in the Super Bowl is like what will win you the game most of the time, right?
Pretty much every time.
Yeah.
Especially when your quarterback throws for 500 yards and 3 touchdowns. That should win the game.
Exactly. But then you let the defense let them down, and Belichick let them down.
33 points.
Belichick let them down, and
hugely.
Look, like I don't doubt. You don't usually have doubt in Belichick, but now at this point,
well, that's
like it's kind of like I'm on the edge because I'm like I don't know he's gonna come back next season. That's what the projection is.
Okay, but here's the thing. Well, we'll get into the McDaniels stuff in a minute. But here's the thing. The thing is, though,
like I understand you're hot about this.
I'm hot about it because it doesn't make any sense, and that's what bothers me, and that's why I think maybe he will not be here because it felt like almost like I didn't put a lot of stock into the ESPN report. I did not.
No,
I thought it was ridiculous. But then this happened, and I can't help but go, did he do this on purpose? He's a smart, let's make this very clear. Bill Belichick is the greatest coach of all time. Yeah. He knows exactly what he's doing. And for him to say, we're going to bench Butler, and we're going to rely
arguably our best defensive player.
And we're going to rely on Eric Rowe, who was with the Philadelphia Eagles before he came to us, so they know him, and we're going to rely on him. It's the dumbest coaching decision ever.
And if let's say that
And
Rowe didn't even pay off for it. Like, the entire game, he was getting targeted, and there were terrible decisions in the secondary, like putting a safety on Alshon Jeffrey.
Missed tackles.
They didn't tackle one time.
I saw one play. It was a 3 and 6, and Chung went to tackle. I forget who it was, but he went to tackle him, and he completely missed. And all he had to do was tackle him, and it would have been like 3 and 3, and they would have punted. It's just stuff like that that is so ridiculous. I don't understand why. Butler's
It
great,
was-
and Butler's really good at tackling too.
Yeah, that of all the things that Butler
Tackling.
or excuse me, Chung is really good at doing is making tackles. Like
Yeah.
he's not known for coverage. He's not like known as like the guy who comes down and like stuffs run plays all the time.
You talking about
He has
Butler
some,
or Chung?
I'm talking about Chung.
Yeah,
Because Butler didn't play.
I know.
So
But I'm saying Butler
Chung's known for being the guy who can like usually has a decent time covering like tight ends.
Yeah.
And like making plays in like the front seven as the safety, but didn't play very well.
But that's my
Devin
point.
McCourty of all players surprisingly didn't play well.
But that's my point.
Trips up on the play against Zach Ertz.
But that's my point. A secondary is reliant on itself. If you have a secondary and they've been playing with all these personnel all year,
Yeah.
they are used to, they trust each other. They know where everyone is. They've been practicing. They know what each other's strengths are. When you take Butler and you just yank him out right before playoff, the ability to make an adjustment like that is impossible. And you also have to be thinking the mind games going on there. You know they're thinking, why is Butler not out here? Why is Butler not out
Because
here?
because we were watching the game, we were all like, "Why is Malcolm Butler crying before?" Like we were like, "Oh, maybe there's like because it's like it's
so
probably his
emotional.
last game.
He knows this is his last game with the
last
Patriots.
game with the Patriots, whatever." And then it didn't start hitting me until
No, they showed it. It was like
until the announcers were like, "Hey,
Wait a
like
minute.
Malcolm Butler
He's not playing.
hasn't been on the field like the last 2 drives," and we were like, "What?"
0 starts tonight, and you and me were both like, and that's when I went, oh no. That's when I was like, oh no, this might not go. What is happening? This
Yeah,
is
because
bad.
what was it? It was Jeffrey scored a touchdown
It was just
over
after-
Eric Rowe.
Yeah.
Zach Ertz, like I said, like late in the game, they
you
put
could
away
tell something
one.
was wrong before we.
No,
even
they
knew.
didn't know. Like I'm siding with you on the fact that
Yeah.
the defense didn't know what they were doing. Like they really didn't, and it looked as bad as the defense that they were playing when they had Dante Hightower in the beginning of the season
against the Chiefs. Yeah,
Yes,
it did.
it was bad for those 4 weeks. For that 4-week stretch where they went 2-2, they played 3-4 that entire way, and during the Super Bowl, it looked like they played a little 3-3 or 3-4, 4-3, whatever. They kept trying to mix stuff up. They didn't know what they were doing, and excuse me. It looked like a very confused effort on the Patriots' part. And going into this next season, I understand like the rage at Belichick, right?
Oh,
Like,
I'm furious.
It's
And I have
it's
every
full
right to be
on there.
furious,
Like
and
I'm
everybody
upset
does.
that he did what he did, but I wouldn't have anybody else coach this team right now. Because look, like Josh McDaniels is back, and presumably Belichick's going to be there for 2018. He's coming back as the offensive coordinator. We can start getting into it here soon. But I think Belichick stays. Look, I think he was starting to maybe buy into this little bit of a genius. I saw this on Colin Cowherd's
I
show.
watched that too. Actually,
Yeah, he
Watched
was
the
like,
same thing.
when people tell you you're a genius after a long time, you don't buy into the fact that you're a genius. You just think that like, okay, I'm just
human.
good at my job. Like I do what I do, and then maybe Belichick was starting to just buy into it, like get a little bit of a big head, and then was like, oh, I'll make a big decision in the Super Bowl. It
I'm
very
going to
well
punish
could-
Malcolm and show how great I am, and it backfired. So maybe even
Oh, and also like try to like maybe if the ESPN report's true,
Brady.
maybe try to punish Brady. Like, hey, look, like
you
Brady
need me.
can't
you
win.
Need me. You need me. And then no, Brady's like, no, actually, if I had somebody who actually was playing smart on the other side of the ball, we would have won this game.
They would've.
That's what's so infuriating. It's like a
If
marriage.
the Patriots would have stopped the Eagles 2 times, like 2 more times,
Even once.
like because they got lucky on an interception and made them punt once. So if they would have stopped them for 2 more drives,
even one more,
even
man.
one more, really,
Even
yeah,
with the
like
strip.
it could have been an overtime game.
I know, even with the strip.
Yeah, you're
Even with the strip. I mean, this is the strip fumble. It was just so bad. I mean, I'm just thinking. I remember when Brandon Cooks got clocked, right? And
Yeah.
he was out, and I thought, oh no, our offense is going to be crippled without him. No, we were fine. We didn't need him.
the Eagles defense surprisingly played
Worse when he went out, which is weird.
Yeah, they played terribly.
Yeah.
They didn't play well at all, and like people are overlooking that because of how bad the Patriots defense was. But I'm not taking the win away from Philly.
No.
But of a defense that was so good all year, Brady destroyed them
He slaughtered him. He carved him
until
up.
they made one play.
Yeah,
and when asked in the interviews, like post game interviews, like what do you think about the Philadelphia Eagles? He was like, I think they made one play.
Well, okay, I read the full
defense.
quote, and he said they played well, and then they made one play at the right time, which is what they're supposed to do. It's
Yeah.
basically what he said. He wasn't saying like, oh, they just made one play.
No, he wasn't. I don't think he was as bitter about the loss as he was against like other teams.
No,
you know what
no,
I mean?
no. But I mean, like,
Because at the end of the day, he's like, dude,
I mean, there's usually,
he's like, I did everything I possibly could for this team to win this game.
When you're playing in the Super Bowl, you need to expect that the opposing defense is going to make one big play, like the Falcons with the pick six, right? It's
Yeah.
going to happen. That should not cost you the game, though. All
No.
we had to do was stop them one more time.
If they stopped them from scoring,
And I believe
on the
Butler
presumed
would have
play.
been that play chain, that there would have been one play that Butler
I was like,
made,
because
one
going through that game, you think, okay, well, all right, he hasn't played in the first quarter. All right, fine. Maybe they're holding him for the second quarter, see how it goes.
It's some kind of
first half
strategy.
goes. All right, well, he hasn't played the first half.
Throw him
Third
for a loop,
quarter,
yeah.
he's gonna come in, and they're not gonna know how to prepare for
They're
him.
going to throw him a loop because
All
he's going to
right.
go out there and they're going to it's
Yeah,
going to jar
and then the
him.
fourth quarter rolls around, and
he's still
then
not out
you're
there.
like, what is going on?
He's really not coming out there, is he?
No, and it was scary. It's like, dude, like how many drives are you gonna wait before you put him in? They never even put him in. Not one time. I will say, to more credit to the Patriots, at least, like, you remember that Hail Mary? Isn't it kind of scary to think that they still could have come up with that?
Oh, yeah.
Like, as a football fan, as a fan of sports, you'd be surprised to see it happen. Like, you're like, oh my god, they caught a Hail Mary, but you almost kind of saw it coming.
I didn't think they were going to catch the Hail Mary.
No, but like, you wouldn't have been as surprised because it's the Patriots. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly. I do get what you mean.
It's...
But man, Nick Foles carved that defense.
Yeah, let's get to Nick Foles.
3 touchdowns. He caught a receiving touchdown, and Blunt ran one in. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Heck of a game by Nick Foles. Truly
Smart
deserving
game.
of the MVP.
Good coaching. It just shows how important coaching is. The
Using
Eagles,
your best players. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
right. Trust your players to make plays.
Like the Eagles were missing Wentz. They were missing their franchise left tackle Jason Peters and Jordan Hicks, their middle linebacker, for just about. Carson was later, but like most of the season they were missing the other two.
Yeah, and they adjusted and they said, "What do we have? What are they good at?" Which is usually what the Patriots are good at doing. But you would never not use a key weapon that you actually have. You would never not use a skilled player. It's like benching Ty Law in the Super Bowl. It's insane.
Yeah.
It really is. It's crazy to do something.
It's like thinking, oh man, we got all the way here. Well, the dude's played in almost all the snaps on defense.
Or Darrell Revis.
Yeah, or
in
Revis
49.
in 49. Like
wouldn't do
even
that.
though Darrell Revis didn't have like an interception in 49.
No, but you don't. I mean,
You don't take him out. Yeah.
No, it's insane.
He still had a good game.
But it's
Browner, same thing.
Even just so that the offense is hesitant.
Browner had a heck of a rant, speaking of which.
And Browner was right.
He's right. You don't take your best player out.
Browner was right. And Hightower liked it, and Tom's talking. This is why I want to get into this real quick.
You want to start segueing into McDaniels?
I mean, I feel like we should talk more about the game, but we can circle back to it.
I mean, we've done 20 minutes on the game.
That's true. I mean,
everybody's all.
We'll talk
we're
about
at
it
the,
all
we're,
offseason.
This is Wednesday after the game. You know
We'll
what I mean?
talk-
Like
we'll talk
everybody
about
has seen and heard of just about everything they
and
could
we'll
about this game.
we'll talk about it for a few more weeks. Definitely. There's no
it'll
way.
be brought up, I'm sure,
Definitely.
with other guests and stuff too.
Yeah, I just want to say Brady still has 5 rings.
He does have 5 rings, and I don't think this hurts his legacy.
No, because he played
I've
well.
seen a lot of people trying to on social media, and a lot of social media people are like, "Ah, man, like Brady gave up that game. He shouldn't have been fumbled. He's the greatest of all time. Why would he fumble?" It's like, dude, he got blindsided.
He threw a pick 6 last.
You
Super
can't.
Bowl.
Can you see behind you? Can you see in the back of your head, dude?
The O-line. I mean, like he threw a pick 6 in the Falcons game, and people are like, "Oh man!" Like, I mean, if that pick 6 had happened later in the game, maybe they would have lost the game. You don't know.
Yeah, and look, you can't blame. Dude, Brady had a historic game, 505 yards,
5 yards,
3 touchdowns, and he only coughed the ball up 1 time because of that fumble.
Yeah.
And the defense, look, Philly's defense made the right play at the right time. That was the play they needed to make.
And so that happens, right? They make their play, and then you go, "All right, our defense is time to step up, make a play." Didn't make a play. No, they just didn't make a play because no.
I mean, as much as I remember, no, they didn't play very well.
No, they didn't play well at all. I mean, but my point is, like, this is why I think maybe Belichick should go. I'm worried that people are gonna, like, within the organization, like the players are gonna start turning on Bill, because they're gonna be like, "You're being super strict. You're pushing us too hard." And then you're not making the best, and it's okay when you do that, when you're making the best decisions and you're winning, right?
I will say, of all the moves that Bill's had over the years, this is the only one that has been, to me, that I remember, that has resulted this badly, though. I mean, I'm just saying.
No, I know.
Like, me personally, I'm not ready to lose faith in Bill, but I do recognize that it was a dumb move. I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm just saying that I'm not losing faith that Bill is a great coach. I think that maybe he's getting to the end of his tenure, and he's like, look, like, I don't know if I want to be here much longer.
I'm trying to prove something here, and it didn't feel like he was playing to win.
I think he was either maybe trying to prove something to himself, prove something to Malcolm, maybe they just
Prove
didn't
something
get
to
along.
Brady or McDaniels or Patricia
Kraft.
or the world, and it just backfired. It was stupid.
It was a dumb move.
The best way to prove anything is to win. To make.
But
the
even
best
if he would
decision.
have won, we would have been talking about how bad that defense was.
Yeah, because it would have come down to our offense throwing a Hail Mary and 2-point conversion, then somehow winning. You know what I mean? In overtime.
And like hoping that the Eagles didn't get the ball and then drive down the field.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you mean. My point is though, I'm worried.
not like I said, I'm not ready to lose faith in Bill. I think that he's gonna stick around. He's gonna have another good season next year. They could very well end with the Super Bowl, considering that they have McDaniels back.
Yeah.
But it was a dumb call.
I don't want him back. I'm ready to move on because it doesn't feel like
I don't think there's anybody out there who's gonna be better than him though. That's
No.
my end of the argument, which is like I would understand if like Bill wasn't as great of a coach as he is or was. You know what I mean? Like he still is a great coach, and McDaniels is not. He's not the guy.
Fine.
To me, right now.
I got that. But my point is, it all depends on why he sat Malcolm out. Did he do it? Did he throw the game on purpose to prove something to Brady? Did he do it because he wanted to prove that he's a greatest?
I don't think Bill would just throw the game.
Yeah, I think he would.
I think it was no. I don't think he would throw the Super Bowl. The dude. I mean, he's had a heck of a long list of accomplishments.
If you're mad at Brady and Kraft, what's the biggest way that you can stick it to them? You throw it in the Super Bowl. Biggest, if you really wanted to. I don't know necessarily that he did that, but my point is though, you and me are asking these questions. What do you think's happening right now in the organization, in the locker room? What do you think they're saying right now? Tom's probably sitting there thinking, "Did you do it? Did you throw the game? Are you actually that mad at me? Why would you do that? Are you stupid?" You know those conversations are happening right now.
I just don't think that
Foxborough.
I think that Jimmy leaving the organization, or that trading away Jimmy, like obviously, Bill wanted him long term. Right.
Yeah, I mean,
like
I think
Bill saw in
everyone
practice,
did.
everybody wanted him.
Kraft wanted him.
I still want him. You know what I
Kraft
mean? Like
wanted
if it was possible, heck, I'd take Jimmy back. But
not happening.
Brady's wanted to stick around for a few more years. It was Jimmy's time to go lead a franchise, and Bill was like, "Look, we can either keep winning down the road, develop into a Super Bowl team again under Jimmy G, or we can maybe part ways with Tom." And then Kraft and the ownership and the rest of the upper management were like, "Look, Tom's still playing at an incredibly high level. He's an MVP player.
He's our guy.
He is, yeah,
He's
literally
won us 5 rings.
He's literally our guy. Took us to 7 Super Bowls at the time.
Yeah.
And now it's 8. So
He's not going
I'm sure there's that could cause the divide.
And that's
I'm not saying that they forced Bill to trade Jimmy though.
Yeah, and I get that, but my thinking is though Bill seems to be such a prideful man. He really likes to be in control. He does. And he doesn't feel in control of Tom, and I'm just worried that he did do it to stick it to them. I am worried about that. And my point is, let's say no, we don't know, right? But my point is, maybe you should tell him to walk, and you should bring McDaniels in, just because it's a stabilizing force, right? It's the guy that has been running the offense for years, that's made plays and set
And I think that if this does happen for some reason. I have a couple questions after this, but
right,
do you think that? I think that if this does happen, let's say that McDaniels is a smart guy now who's had the experience as a head coach, and then will realize, I'm not a defensive guy. I'm not going to try to pretend to be like I wasn't because I wasn't an offensive guy in Denver when he was head coaching them, right? So he's probably going to do the same thing McVay did in LA, you know what I mean, where they brought in Wade Phillips, and then he ran the defense. He'd find somebody who's good at running defense and have them do it, and then he runs the offense.
Yeah,
it'd basically be the same Patriots team without Patricia, obviously, but without Bill overseeing it all.
Yeah, I know, and I think that could work if you bring in the right defensive guy. Yeah, but okay, look, the thing is, Bill pretty much runs the defense.
Yeah,
he does, and that's it's gonna be interesting how Patricia does. But he runs the defense, and McDaniels runs the offense.
I wonder what Kraft said to McDaniels to sweeten the deal.
He told him he's gonna be the head coach when Bill's gone.
I think that's what he said.
That's what he said. He said to him, "Bill's gonna be gone in a year or 2, and you're gonna be the head coach. I will pay you a ton of money. Stay here with your family. You don't have to move. It's your franchise for 10 years or something, as long as you coach well."
Yeah, because he had a lot of money on the table in Indianapolis, and the agent was like, "Look." This is all the stuff I've been hearing because it's obviously a very new development.
It literally has been. It's been the craziest. It's probably been the craziest 48 hours as a Patriots fan I've ever been.
Since the Super Bowl, of course, too. The Super Bowl loss, whatever. But now that the Patriots have McDaniels back, before I didn't think they were gonna win without McDaniels. Because you're going from a whole new coordinator system and everything to to scratch. You know what I mean? If you're Tom Brady, but the fact that they're keeping McDaniels puts them continuously puts them in the Super Bowl conversation for me. You know what I mean?
I think they'll go back next
Yeah, I think that there's now a bigger chance they go back next year with McDaniels.
You know what's funny though? Since they lost, they're gonna be so driven to go back and win. It's
Oh
gonna
yeah,
be I think they
my
will.
my gut's telling me that Gronk's gonna be back.
Edelman will be back hopefully. Cooks,
well, no,
all of them.
Edelman will be back. He's
Well, as long
had
as he doesn't
he's
get
had this
hurt
entire
again.
season to rehab and surgery.
He was mad. He went out. I didn't read it, but he said he's like, we'll be back.
Mm-hmm.
He's,
Cooks is gonna be back.
but Edelman is determined.
Yeah.
Missing this game.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's like, I could have changed it. I could.
Like even if you lost Cooks, you know what I mean? Like you still have Edelman. You know what I mean?
We were fine without either of them.
I know, but I'm saying,
Edelman's watching that Hail Mary, and he's thinking like, I could have gotten it. I could have caught the Hail Mary. He's thinking.
No, next year we're getting Calvin Johnson. Man.
Yeah,
like,
right. Larry Fitzgerald, man.
Larry Fitzgerald.
I just want to finish this part at least. Like we didn't need to win this one. That's the one thing that is
I don't
nice.
think it hurts Brady's legacy.
No, it doesn't.
Dude's 5-3, five rings, 3 MVPs, 4 Super Bowl MVPs.
He played his butt off.
Yeah, I can't. There's nothing inside of me that says Brady's the fault for this.
I remember when I wanted him to win 4.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember when I wanted him
just to have the conversation of greatest of all time.
I know
with Joe.
And then he won it, and then he won the 5th one, and it was like it's over. It doesn't matter. He could lose 2 more, and it's still over.
People are comparing him to Jordan, and like I hate how the argument always goes with like Joe Montana and now Michael Jordan, where it's like, oh, he never lost in the championship.
That's stupid.
He never lost in the final. Like didn't throw an interception, dude. The game's faster.
It's a different game.
It's a different game. I will give you that. People are
LeBron,
like, oh, we'll have Brady go back then and
how
play.
many finals has LeBron been to?
He went to 7 in a row as of last year, and then went to like 3, or he went to 2 others before that.
So he's been to 9.
I think he's been a total of 8.
8 or 9.
I think he's about 8 or 9. Yeah.
And I mean, like his problem is he needs to win more. Like he's made it, but he hasn't won. But
Well,
Brady,
not this year.
But Brady's been to the most, and he's won the most. As far as football is concerned, it's
he and Charles Haley are tied now with Super Bowl.
That's fine, but okay, yes, but
At
fine,
quarterback.
greatest quarterback.
Yeah.
And let's be real here. In 10, 20 years, people are not going to say Charles Haley is better than Tom Brady.
No, nobody's saying that now.
No, I know, and it's definitely not going to. So it's over. I mean, he is until somebody gets more than 5 rings, it's over. That debate's done. Now it's just we're going to watch this guy and see how far he can push it.
Yeah, because he's 40 years old by the time next season starts, training camp starting, preseason, whatever. He'll be 41 years.
How long has he got? Is this his last year?
I think if he plays like crap, it's his last year. You know what I mean? Like Brady's always been adamant about saying, "Look, if I suck, I'm gonna retire."
Even if he's average, I think this is his last year. Actually,
I think that if they make it to the Super Bowl again, he's got 1 more year left in him, regardless of like if they go to the Super Bowl again.
it depends how he plays together. I mean, they could go to the Super Bowl and win on defense or on a running back.
I'd hope they'd win with defense.
Well, we're supposed to win with defense. We're supposed to have the most impressive defensive coaching mind of our generation, and we didn't see that in this game. And does this?
They should rename the Lombardi Trophy to the Lombardi Belichick Trophy. After this performance,
I don't know.
I'm kind of hesitant.
Okay, how this doesn't tarnish Tom's legacy. I think we can both agree.
Yes.
How about Bill's? I think it does.
I don't think it tarnishes the entire legacy.
No.
I think that it hurts it, though.
I think it does. That's my point.
No, because the dude's a multi-time Super Bowl champ. I mean, think about this. 5 with the Patriots alone, been to 8 with the Patriots alone, and then went to 2 Super Bowls and won them with the Giants.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So the dude's got 7 rings and, like...
And 5 as a head coach.
Yeah. Dude's got a heck of a legacy.
I know, but here's the thing. He has to go back and win now, because if he doesn't, all anybody's going to talk about is how he ended...
with the dumbest decision.
With one of the worst defenses.
It's like ending the career of Brett Favre with an interception. Like, it's kind of bitter.
like that, right?
It's a little bitter, where it's like, Favre's a great quarterback, and then his whole thing was that he always threw interceptions at big games, and then again in the Saints game, he threw a big interception.
I know. You're right. I mean, I think this does turn, and that's part of why I think part of me thinks this was for ego. I think he thought, I'm going to do this because I'm a genius. And it backfired. I think he wanted to do this and still win and be like, look what I did.
Yeah.
Brady needs me, right? Because he hears it. He does. I don't care what he's saying. Oh, we don't listen to that. Yeah, you do.
We don't listen. We don't go along. Whatever,
You're lying, Bill. You're lying.
Like you hear a little bit of it at least.
No,
like you know what I mean. Like
he
hears enough of it to think highly of himself.
He hears it, and so I think.
Like, is it bad that this is like one of the few times? Like, I mean, I understand you fully feel it, but like, it's one of the few times that I felt like I'm kind of starting to see a little bit of smugness in Bill.
Yes.
Like, people always think Tom's a smug guy. I mean, I think this Tom versus time thing. I mean, however you want to feel about it, I don't think he's a smug dude. He's just very about his business. But at least when it comes to Bill, like after this move, I'm starting to see him a little more smug and not as like, okay, I'm just like me doing my thing. I'm coaching. Now he's like, he just seems a little smug about it.
That's why I think maybe you should go. I don't care if you're a genius. If you're an arrogant genius,
I can see the benefits to McDaniels taking over, but I think that when Brady retires and Bill retires, this is definitely McDaniels' team. That's the sweetening of the deal.
I think the thing is though,
but I don't think Josh wants to take over for Bill if Bill isn't ready to
all
leave.
I'm saying is that I'm seeing reports that there are still debates going on in the building. Maybe Bill right now, the official word is Bill is staying. Dude, by the end of the week that could change, especially with McDaniels being back.
Well then, yeah.
Bill
let's
might see that as a threat. He might see McDaniels staying as a threat to him. He might see it that we may like. Whoa, oh, you're keeping him around?
Then yeah, we can explore the options here. Let's say he sees as threat. Yeah, he could very well leave. Fine. No, fine. It's just whatever.
Yeah.
Fine. He sees him as a threat, but I think that it comes down to I don't think he doesn't jeopardize the offense. You know what I mean? Like Bill doesn't control the offense. You know what I mean? I think that Bill could see it as okay, I understand this guy's my successor. Dude, how old is Bill?
65.
He's up there.
He's up there.
Yeah, he's getting old. So think about this. Dude, Bill's only got I think he only wants to do it for a few more years. And he'd look at Josh McDaniels and say, look, like, you're going to be here until I retire. This is going to be your team. I'm going to prepare you for the next few years. Because he has a ton of understudies who have taken over, but nobody's directly taken over for Bill.
That's true.
And I think if Bill wants to redeem himself in a kind of sense, I think that he takes Josh McDaniels under his wing. We don't know. Maybe he could be really petty about it.
He seems like the kind of guy that would be petty.
Maybe. But I think the smartest thing for Bill to do now is to continue to be the head coach and then prep McDaniels for being head coach in like a couple seasons. Because I think that Tom's got maybe 2 more years left in the tank. Maybe. It's a big maybe. It's barring any injury. I think Tom's got 2 more years left in the tank. I think Bill's only got but so much enthusiasm left to keep coaching. I mean, dude's been so successful for so long. I don't think he wants to go anywhere else either. I think he wants to retire and go like fishing on his boat in Florida. You know what I mean?
I buy that.
Yeah. So to me, the most likely scenario is he sticks around for a couple more years. Maybe he takes him to another Super Bowl, right? Like maybe next year with McDaniels as the offensive coordinator, with the promise of him being head coach at some point, takes him to the Super Bowl, they win, and then Bill retires. And then Brady might retire at the same time. And then it's definitely Josh's team. I could see it. It's a matter of time. And I'm happy McDaniel stuck around. Apparently it's really good for his family.
Goodness, he stuck around.
Yeah, because if he doesn't stick around, I think the Steelers are going to the Super Bowl next year.
Yeah, I do too.
We'll have to see who the defensive coordinator is, but it's mostly going to be Bill running the defense anyway.
Who do you think? I was transition. Who do you think is going to take over the defense?
I think that the Patriots have always kind of hired from within. So I don't know all of the defensive coordinators that well. We'll learn when we find out, because it's always been Bill, and then Patricia started coming along. You know what I mean?
What did Patricia do before he was?
He was like, I'm pretty sure he was like the linebackers coach, and then got promoted up. He's been with the Patriots for like 10 years, man. He's been with them for a long time.
I know he's been there a long time.
You've seen the pictures of him without the beard.
Like, it's crazy.
But we can talk about McDaniels. What do you think about the coordinators being hired by the Colts under the assumption McDaniels was going to sign the contract?
You just told me that. That's messed up.
Isn't it?
Stinks.
Isn't it kind of messed up? Like in ways, yes. Like I'll tell you the ways that I think it's messed up. Okay, and then I'll let you do your piece. Look, it's messed up that McDaniels went back on his word to go back to the Patriots. It's kind of like a screw you to the Colts, and the Colts now feel like, okay, the rivalry's back, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, win first.
Win a game first. But they're like, oh, we're definitely taking this rivalry more seriously now.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
And all right, so all these assistant coordinators are stuck with the Colts. I will say that it's a good thing Irsay didn't just like void all their contracts. You know what I mean? Like in a sense, like they came to the organization with a promise they're gonna have jobs there and in good roles, and then he was like, well, okay, I'll let you guys stay under contract, whatever. But who do you think takes over for the Colts? Like that's what I feel bad about. It's for the Colts. Like who you now have been stuck with this staff that doesn't fit any coach in particular at the moment.
You'll like this. There's a report that Kraft did this for Deflategate.
Oh, I can see it.
You can go. You guys can go look. There's reports that say that that's what happened, and that's funny to me, and I love it. Like, doesn't that just sound like something Robert Kraft would do? Because he was mad about the Deflategate.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of the whole Pagano situation, the way it was handled either. Dude had his quarterback injured for 2 straight seasons. It's not up to him. And
not a very good coach.
The stat and the players around him sucked.
Nah, he was a bad coach.
Pagano,
He had Andrew Luck, and he couldn't get. He hasn't been able to get to the Super Bowl. You have Andrew Luck when he was healthy, even no.
He's like, I mean, at least they went to the playoffs, pretty deep in the playoffs. Jeff Fisher didn't make the playoffs forever.
John Fox has gone deep into the playoffs when he's got. He's
been
players.
in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, great. When you got great players, you.
Pagano probably wasn't that great of a coach.
No.
Who do you think takes that job though, man?
I have no idea.
Because a lot of the big candidates, like the Colts, were under the assumption McDaniels going to sign with them.
They're gonna go for college coaches, I think.
You know, I did hear a report. They were reciting a report that one of their hosts made. Like I've said, I'm a big fan of Le Batard show with ESPN, and one of their hosts, Dugatz, like in 2013, was saying like how Jim Harbaugh was gonna leave the Niners and go to the Colts. Is it crazy enough to think that like
no,
maybe Urban Meyer or like I don't think Saban's gonna leave college. I think he's gonna retire as a college football coach. But I think like what if Jim Harbaugh voided his contract with Michigan and we went to go coach the Colts?
Oh, I could see him do that.
Dude, that'd be crazy cool.
That would be good that'd be a good move for him. He'll have a great quarterback, hopefully. I think Luck will be all right. He'll have a great quarterback. There's plenty of talent on either side of the ball.
There's enough cats to start building a team.
Yeah, you just need to start coaching.
You need to draft well too.
Yeah, you need to coach well. You just need to coach well, and he's proven he's a good coach.
At the NFL level, of course. Like the only reason why he left the NFL was because the Niners management and ownership
did not like him. They didn't get along.
No, and in no way, shape, or form did they like each other.
No, so yeah, I mean,
I could see John Harbaugh.
I would like it.
I would like that move as well.
I like a competitive league.
Yeah,
that's all I want. Is a competitive league.
It's not like I will say it's my only criticism of the NBA. Like, let's say the problem with if like LeBron James, we've heard about this. We'll be talking about this more the next like coming weeks. But like the LeBron James like story of him possibly going to the Warriors. Besides the fact that it would tarnish the dude's legacy, like if he goes to the Warriors for any reason, I'm not gonna watch basketball. There's nothing compelling for me to do watching basketball. I'm not gonna care.
But Kyrie.
I mean, like, Kyrie's good, but nobody's going to beat the Warriors if they have LeBron, Steph, and Kevin Durant. You have the top three players in the world. No.
It's not happening.
There's no way.
No one would do it even just for business.
The only way that I would see it happening
is if Durant left.
It's
not happening, though.
No, Durant has to restructure his contract. I think Klay Thompson and Draymond Green have to get traded. Klay Thompson's kind of coming up on free agency.
I like them the way they are. They're
dominant, exactly.
They're nasty.
They're good.
They got good personality. Leave them the way they are.
I think I could very well see the Celtics coming up this year and really taking over the East.
The way that
they've been playing.
Well, the way the Cavs have been playing, the Celtics own the East right now.
Oh yeah,
they do. They got it.
I put it on Facebook last night. You can check out my Facebook page. Add me as a friend if you want to. But I put it on Facebook last night. I might as well just like say word for word. Basically, it was my doubt on LeBron James with the Cavaliers, and I kind of blame LeBron for the fact that the Cavs suck right now. Like, they kind of suck because you want to get all these players. I mean, Kyrie didn't want to play with you. You go out and recruit all these players who apparently aren't working well together, and now your solution is to try to trade, get other players, and then move guys in and out. That doesn't seem to be working, and it's not going to beat the Warriors, and it apparently isn't going to beat the Celtics either. We'll get to it though. We will
definitely get to that. It's just
we can continue to.
The Cavs are a mess.
So we've talked about Bill. We've talked about Josh. We've talked about the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. We have 15 more minutes. There's no predictions left, so we have 15 more minutes left on the show. The Eagles' amazing season. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about the Eagles.
Let's at least give them a few minutes. They lost Carson Wentz, franchise quarterback, was having an MVP caliber season. I think that if he doesn't get hurt, he could very well have been a candidate.
He would have won. Well, no, him and Brady would have been the two.
It would have been very close.
It would have been him and Brady.
Let's see.
I will say this: the way Brady played his last 5 weeks, Wentz probably would have won it.
Yeah, which is why the whole point of Gurley in the conversation too.
Yeah. But I thought they were done when Wentz went down. I went, oh, well, that's it.
Yeah, me
and
too.
so did everybody else in the country. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, they were underdogs from that point on.
Yeah,
and they embraced it. They're top dogs now, Super Bowl champions, literally.
I will say it was nice seeing somebody new win the Lombardi. I can't deny that. It was cool watching.
Like, look, at the end of the day, I'm not mad that the Patriots lost. I'm mad that they played defense that way. I'm mad at Bill, but I'm not mad that the offense played that way and that we lost the team.
I'm not mad that we lost. I'm mad how we lost.
How we lost.
How
exactly.
we lost is what bothers
Basically.
me. But I gotta say, like, it was nice seeing another team win. Like Denver and the Patriots have been the ones who've been winning now recently, and we've seen them before.
We've seen the Steelers go in.
We've seen the Steelers, seen the Packers. Like, when the Seahawks won, it was really cool because they were a new team that had never won before. I remember people were like, ooh, that.
Like, the Panthers even being in the Super Bowl was a big deal because because they hadn't been in the Super Bowl since, 2003.
Yeah. So watching and I gotta say, Eagles fans, We're 1-1 against each other. Rematch, man. I want a rematch.
It'll be in Atlanta next year. Just saying.
Wouldn't that be cool if we could go back and play them again? Because now we beat them once, they beat us once in the Super Bowl. If
That'd
we
be
went
cool.
head to head, I'm down for that.
I'd be cool with it.
I want to see Philly again.
The NFC's just so competitive, man.
I know, but that's the thing. I don't know.
They lost, like I said, they lost their tackle. They lost a number of players along
Running
the
back.
way. They lost Darren Sproles in a terrible
loss.
Yeah,
Big
loss for
loss.
them, special teams wise, especially. But a lot of players stepped up. I commend Doug Peterson. I remember like a few years ago.
Coach of the year.
Yeah, coach.
He should win Coach of the Year.
Sean McVay won Coach of the Year.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They did the
You're
NFL
right.
honors.
Yeah, they totally did. You're right.
But Sean McVay, hats off to you. I remember not thinking that the Peterson move was a good idea because I was like, Andy Reid's been the one who's always called plays and blah blah.
Nope. This was.
But it turned out really well, and I will I basically like say I was wrong. Obviously, I can admit when I'm wrong. Just like I admit that the Patriots lost the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like I got over it. I cried already.
But yeah.
Hats off to Doug Peterson. Hats off to Nick Foles, of course, Super Bowl MVP.
Wow. If you had told me that at the beginning of the season, I would have laughed at you.
Dude.
Nick Foles, the MVP.
What, are you kidding?
No,
like, you know what I mean?
I'm going back and thinking, no one in their right mind. I think people were talking about the Seahawks, talking about the Falcons going back.
Yeah, like the Falcons were the Patriots
The
were like the big
Buccaneers,
ones.
like Cowboys. No.
Dude, surprisingly, the Giants. Looking back at the season,
Yeah.
did you really think the Giants were gonna be that bad?
No, on paper they look good.
They were so good on paper.
Their offense
I was
looked
like,
awesome.
but I had called it. I was like, look, like the only thing the Giants need to do is improve the offensive line in the offseason. They didn't do it, and they suffered for it.
I think they regressed.
They regressed because Eli couldn't throw the ball.
Well, no, I know.
And then
and
on top of that, they
lost
lost
their best-
Odell, they lost Brandon Marshall, and then
Marshall barely did it.
and then the defense didn't know how to communicate with each other without trying to assault each other. Apparently,
How much does Brandon Marshall regret going to the Giants?
a ton. I'm sure he does, because the Patriots had an offer for him on the table.
Did they really?
I'm pretty sure that he was in the conversation to go to the Patriots.
He was with the Jets though, right? He didn't go
Yeah.
anywhere before, right? Okay.
He was with
Yo, if he had been with the Jets this year, they might have actually
done
gone.
well.
They might have gone in the wild card round instead of the Bills. I mean, like he could be
That was a big
difference.
surprise for me too.
He could have been the Jets were huge.
Just
surprise.
postseason, like I thought they were going to be the worst team in football.
The Raiders, that was the biggest surprise for me. I thought the Raiders and the Patriots were going to go head to head. They were going to be the two top dogs.
Dude, a lot of my postseason predictions were out the window. Like I had called Deshaun Watson being like taking the Texans to the playoffs, and unfortunately he tore his ACL. I think they would have been to the playoffs though.
Oh yeah,
They would have been a wild card team in the playoffs.
well, I think they would have been a wild card.
Well, they weren't going to be.
They weren't
going to get through Jacksonville.
They weren't consistent, but they were still fun to watch, and they had a great.
They were
quarter.
so good.
were
That's
so
the
good.
team I'm super excited about coming into next season.
This season was rough because everybody got hurt, man.
Everybody.
It could-
J.J. Watt, Deshaun, for the
Like,
Texans.
congrats to Nick Foles, but it would have been so much cooler to watch Carson Wentz and Brady on the field duking it out.
Oh, for sure.
And Foles is getting. Where's Foles going? Is he getting traded?
Yeah, that's what I was going to end the segment on, end the show on. We have 10 minutes, and then my favorite time of the year, honestly, outside of the actual like Super Bowl and the end of
The
the
playoff
season.
run.
No, outside of all that, I love free agency.
Yeah.
I like the free agency more than I like the draft. They should
Way more.
make the free agency period like the stock market on players. You know what I mean? Like this are teams interested here and blah blah, and like this is like the likeliness of this deal happening and blah blah.
The problem with the draft is you have no idea how these players are actually going to do on the big stage.
Yeah, but like
against
the
big guys.
but when it comes to like the NFL free agency, dude.
You know what you're getting for the most part.
Yeah, some guys you find out are system guys, are big splashes in free agency, and some guys aren't. But like, I love free agency. It's my favorite time of the year. What day is it this year? That's what I need to figure out. I'm gonna be partying.
First week of March, I think.
Yeah, it's usually the first week of March that free agency opens because you find out by then who hasn't been restricted as a free agent, like free agency tagged. I mean, Kirk Cousins this year is gonna be a big one.
Oh man, we're gonna have to do a whole week basically talking about.
Basically, it's gonna be all like free agency moves and probably the NBA like playoffs and stuff.
But so you have Nick Foles and Carson Wentz. Do you get rid of Nick Foles or Carson Wentz?
Here's what I'm thinking. Okay, you can get a lot for Nick Foles if you are eager.
You can get a ton for Nick Foles. He
Right
just
now?
won the Super Bowl. Yeah.
MVP Super Bowl too.
You
know what I mean?
you can win. You can get almost anything you want with
I
him.
think you can get a first round pick for him, but like you were talking to me about Cleveland trying to get him, and I was like, look, they're not going to give up the number 1 and the number 4 pick for Nick Foles. It's just not going to happen. You know what I mean? Like you have to have the right system for him too.
Yes, I
because
agree
we
with that.
saw that under Jeff Fisher, Jeff Fisher, whatever.
Jeff Fisher's Jeff Fisher.
Yeah, but like under certain coaches, he doesn't work well. He doesn't work well in every system. Like Peterson found out what was good with him and then kept doing it.
He's not Aaron Rodgers. Where
He's not. No,
He can just carry a whole team on his back. He needs support, which is
Yes.
fine. That's not a bad thing.
So, like, what I'm thinking is, like, you were saying Cleveland. I was like, well, we're not going to give it the number 1 or the number 4. So I think Cleveland's out the window just from that. But
Okay.
if they wanted to get really bold, they'd give them a next year's first-round pick.
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe
That's the only way I see Cleveland in this. All right? But he's worth a first-round pick to me, and that's about it. Because I don't want to give up the whole dynasty for Nick Foles.
If the Broncos wanted him, what would you ask for?
If I was the Broncos,
I think I know what I would
or
ask
if I
for.
was the Eagles, I'd ask for a first-round pick. I'd
For
ask
the Broncos, what would? Well, yeah. Well,
they'd have like a mid-round pick.
yeah, somewhere in the mid. I'd ask for Von Miller.
Heck no.
They wouldn't do it, but I'd be like, you want Nick? Give me Von Miller.
It's like asking Bill Belichick for Tom Brady. Like, remember when we heard about those like reports of John Lynch trying to get him?
Funny.
It was like, you just asked me for the greatest quarterback of all time. You know what I mean?
Butler's gone.
But Butler's gone, yes. But speaking of Nick Foles,
Man.
I think you get a first-round pick for him. I could see Denver's a good landing spot. I could really see, for some reason, I kind of see the Jets. Imagine Nick Foles against the Patriots 2 times a year.
That would be some...
For the Jets.
No, but that would be some bad blood on the field.
I think that he could work really well with the Jets. Like,
I
I
think
think
that's a good
they'd
bet.
have an offense that could work well with him.
I like that. I don't think he's gonna go there though. I just have a gut feeling he won't go there.
Oh, I mean, we never know, man. But I could see.
I know that, but my gut feeling says no. Where else? Who else needs a quarterback?
I mean, Buffalo keeps trying to unload Tyron Taylor.
I don't think he's gonna go to Buffalo.
I don't
either.
think he would, but it's possible.
They're gonna send Nick somewhere he wants to go to. Let's make something very clear. He just won them a Super Bowl, and he was a Super Bowl MVP. They're gonna say, Nick, thank you. We owe you so much. Where would you like to go first and foremost? I think
he's gonna go to the New England Patriots.
New England Patriots. He'll be the backup. No,
Wait,
where do you think he will go though? I'm trying to think of places he would want to go, and that would be willing.
I mean,
to pay
do you
a
think
bit.
Jacksonville would pick him up?
That's a great one. Oh yeah.
I think they could give up I think they'd give
He'd
up a
be
first round
great.
pick.
He'd be great in that system
Yeah.
with that line and with the and if you
Dude,
draft
if I'm Jacksonville, I'm going for Nick Foles. I'm all in on Nick Foles. Like I'd give up. I dump Blake Bortles because of Nick
Oh
Foles.
yeah, I want Nick Foles or Kirk Cousins if
Oh yeah,
I'm
because I don't.
Jacksonville.
They're not going to release him. You know what I mean? Like that's so much trade capital right there. Like he's not an impending free agent.
No, he's not getting released.
So
that's funny.
But the other theory I have is that they keep him as the backup until the season begins. You know what I mean? To see if like Carson Wentz is ready to go by the end of preseason.
I think he will be.
He could be. I don't really know. Like we don't know how because he got the ACL late in the season.
You could argue you should trade Carson because he gets hurt more often.
I wouldn't trade Carson. You've established that Carson's the face of the franchise.
Have you?
They have.
Okay, they have, but is he now?
Yes.
People talking about Nick. They're not talking about Carson.
People are talking about Nick because he won a Super Bowl. I don't
Yeah.
think I don't think Nick is the future of that
Can you
franchise.
imagine what Carson's thinking right now? Oh man.
Carson's thinking
Wish
I'm
that
getting
was
ready
me.
for next season. That's what he's thinking.
He's wishing I wish that was me.
Oh, I'm sure he does, but I'm sure he's happy for Nick. I'm sure he's gonna love that ring he's gonna get.
Oh, he's gonna and he played most of the season, so he can,
Exactly.
He got them.
They're gonna give the long snapper, the guy John Darrenbos. He got basically diagnosed with a heart condition at the beginning of the season. They're gonna give him a ring too.
Nice.
So it was just classy by the Eagles to do that. I mean, but speaking of the Eagles, they're fans.
What about him?
How can we miss the fans?
Honestly, all the fans I've seen have been very gracious.
Well, no, I'm not talking about just like being nice to people. I'm talking about like the Philly like living fans.
It's Philly, man.
My favorite moment that I heard of was Hardee's on Twitter tweeting, "Hey, we'd love to serve the residents of the city of Philadelphia biscuits, but we can't do that if our stores burn down."
I love Philly though.
Oh my goodness. I still kind of hold that they are the fans that don't deserve it, but the team deserved it, which is why I was happy.
I mean, I've never hated them as much as you have.
I mean, no, I didn't hate them before this playoff.
No, I never thought they were the worst fans ever. The way a lot of people were talking about them. I mean, I have a lot of problems.
I just think that they had like that. It didn't look very good this last playoff. You know what I mean?
No, but I mean,
they didn't look good.
They're gonna embrace it though. Underdog mentality, man.
Of course they are.
Fine, don't like us. Us against the world. Hey, the Patriots are like that too. Us against the world.
Yeah, but they're not like throwing beers at other fans.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
But
like they're not making like the Jets fans get escorted out of the stadium because the dude's wearing a Jets jersey. You know what I mean? It doesn't happen. Like, I just think that there's a certain amount of like, all right, look, you gotta it's a football game. Like I understand, like we were really passionate about it and like yell and whatever. That's the only thing. And it's like I just wish they'd like chill out.
I mean, maybe now they will. Now that they've won one, they've been
maybe.
I mean, you remember that? What was that? Like 98-year-old Philly fan up in the stadium watching the Super Bowl. They cut to.
Yeah.
Yo, man.
Congrats to him, man.
Yes.
Congrats to the Philly. Look, like Philadelphia, the Eagles earned it. I just think that like the Eagles fans
I feel
like
good.
don't take it for granted. They haven't. The Eagles fans that I've met, they're very gracious about
I think a lot of Patriots fans took the fact we're gonna go win for granted. A lot of people did. You did.
Yeah.
You thought we were gonna win for sure.
Yeah, I did.
I was the nervous guy over here going, oh man, I don't know all season, and I was right. I don't know. You never know. You don't know until you win.
I thought we were gonna. Of course, I thought the Patriots were gonna win.
I
And
mean,
so did a lot of people.
I picked us to win because if you're in a bet, you should bet on the Patriots every single time. But even going in the offseason,
No, but I'm not mad about it. Like I'm saying,
No, I know
like
you're
congratulations to Philly.
I know you're not.
Luckily, I didn't have to actually sing in class. I think I might have said that on air last week, but I didn't actually have to sing, which was nice. Very gracious of my classmate.
Yeah, see, like Philly fans.
No, like Philly fans, like I do love the Philly fans that I'm around because look, like they actually appreciate that they won. Like this is the first time they felt this good about winning something.
Yeah, they're not like we beat you.
They're
like,
not.
oh
they're
my...
not. They're not being bitter about it.
No, like we beat you. They're like, oh my gosh,
like
we
real,
won.
like real true Seahawk fans. Because in Virginia, there aren't really like.
It's hard to
many.
find Seahawk fans.
Like real Seahawk fans.
Yeah.
But like true Seahawks fans, I bet they were over the top. You know what I mean? Like when they won the Super Bowl, they were like excited. Like, hey, good game, good job. Like Broncos had a heck of a season. You know, get them next time, kind of deal.
Because my point is like when it's your first one like that, and when you like. They weren't sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, we beat the Patriots, thinking, oh my god, we won the Super Bowl, which is the way it should be. They weren't focused on being like sore winners. They're focused on, oh my gosh, we won.
Yeah.
Wow, thank goodness.
Yeah.
It finally happened. Which
Good
is,
for them.
Which
Who do you think's the next franchise that doesn't have a ring to get a ring?
Oh, okay, so we're doing that?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
Of the ones I'm thinking about, I think it'd be like Detroit.
Oh my god, yeah, wait, Detroit doesn't have that one.
Houston doesn't have one. Carolina doesn't have one. San Diego doesn't. The Browns, of course, don't have one. There's a whole list.
Bengals don't have one.
No, they don't. They don't. The Chargers don't have one.
But you already said the Chargers.
I did.
Yeah,
Oh, my
said
bad.
San Diego. We said San Diego and they're in LA now. But
Well, yeah, the Chargers don't have one.
you.
Excuse me. There's like
Vikings don't have one.
No, they don't.
Vikings.
You
I'll
think
take
the Vikings?
Yeah, I think the Vikings.
I can see the Vikings.
I'll take the Vikings.
Well, we're at the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. Catch us next week here at 5 o'clock. Hopefully our equipment all works correctly. But like I said, thank you guys very much for sticking with us through the entire season. I'll try to actually post this one. I forgot to post the last one up. Yeah, life's busy, school's busy.
Yep.
Like I said, thank you very much for listening. Follow the Rines Report and Radio Free Radford on all social media platforms. And you are listening to Radio Free Radford. Have a nice day.
See y'all next week.